What's going on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you one of the top mistakes that most gardeners make that is causing unnecessary pest and weed pressure every single season and how to fix it. And that mistake is growers are not picking up their fallen fruits. Fallen, rotting, decomposing fruits are a magnet for insect pests. They're not compost as you may think they are, rather they're an invitation for an insect breeding party. Not only are you encouraging more insects to come into your yard by giving them a free, easy source of food, but they are laying eggs inside of all of those fallen fruits, and they are going to hatch and they are going to produce even larger quantities of insect pests in your yard. Furthermore, if these insect eggs are laid during the fall, many of those eggs will overwinter into the next season, so you will actually give yourself early increased blooms of insects in your yard that will take over during the spring. Because of this, it is critically important that you regularly walk around your garden and you pick up any fallen fruits that you see that have fallen off your fruit trees and vegetables. This will go an enormous distance to reduce your pest population over time. The second reason why you want to remove your fallen fruits is because they will reseed themselves the next year. When plants reseed themselves the following year, we call those new babies volunteer plants. And while it may seem pretty cool to have a few volunteer pepper or tomato plants because, hey, free plants, let me tell you, when you get hundreds of them, they're no different than any other weed and they become a major problem. 3 years ago, I grew a ground cherry in one of my garden beds, and it has been haunting me for years because they drop a crazy amount of fruit. And all of those fallen fruit reseeded throughout my entire garden. It's been a nightmare, and I've been having to pick up all of these fallen ground cherries ever since. So make sure you stay on top of your fallen fruit or you could pay the price in your garden for years to come. And if you want to grow something like a ground cherry that has a lot of fallen fruit, that is a great delicious plant, make sure you grow it in a container isolated away from the rest of your garden. As for what to do with the fallen fruit, I recommend that you either dispose of them in the trash so they're taken off site, or you burn them if you can do so safely. You can also hot compost them if you're into hot composting, but don't relocate them to a simple cold compost pile because if they're full of pest eggs, they will just hatch and then take over your yard and garden. That simple tip will go miles to reducing your insect and weed pressure over time. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.